Hello everybody, it's Philly Kuts with another comic book haul. We are up to number 73. You know, every week on Wednesday, new comic book release day, I get together with you guys and talk about the books I've purchased. No big whoop. We got some bonus footage here. I've decided to make this a 2-for-1 video. A few weeks ago, I was tagged by a fellow comic book collector and vlogger, DN8Comics, and he wanted to know, Philly, what are you going to do in 2016 with your channel? What's the new channel resolutions? What are your new comic book haul resolutions? So I figured, might as well get this done right now. I only have 6 books this week, and I've been hard-pressed to find the time to do 2 videos, so I figured I'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So, the comic book haul. I hope to keep moving in good directions. I know that a lot of times I complain on here about the price of new books, and I think we all know that buying new books as they come out on Wednesday is pretty ludicrous, considering that comic books pretty much the prices plummet as soon as they come out. But for me, there are many reasons why I continue to buy my books on Wednesday, on new comic release day, because it helps me tremendously. I work a pretty stressful job. Not going to get into what it is, career-oriented job, but it's extremely stressful. It's Monday through Friday, about 8:30 to, 5, 6, sometimes even 7 o'clock. Wednesdays, I make it a point to get out early, to get out around 5 o'clock because my comic book shop closes at 7. So I honor that commitment to myself, and as part of my own self-care, I utilize the comic book haul because it helps me tremendously. Smack dab in the middle of the week gives me something to look forward to, and I love reading comics. I pretty much was on hiatus from collecting for over 20 years, and I ended up going to a comic book shop in Vancouver. I was out on a trip with my father. I was helping him on a project, and I decided, hey, I needed to get out one night and find a little something to do, right? I mean, you're with your 70-year-old dad. It's kind of hard to party, have a good time, right? So I went and found a comic book shop. I wish I could remember the name. And I started to pick up some Hellraiser graphic novels by Boom Comics. And that's what really gave me the bug. I started reading these books, and I was like, man, I'm really enjoying this. And it kind of just stemmed from there. So that's a big reason why I enjoy doing the Hump Day Haul every Wednesday. Helps keep me focused. It helps keep me grounded. It helps me de-stress. But also, I like the community that I'm starting to become a part of, and then I want to be more in tune with. So I would love if I could start maybe connecting with more of you guys, maybe doing some Skype videos where we can kind of get together and collaborate and just talk about comics, maybe in a round table format. So here are some of the guys that I want to tag. I picked 3 of you. I know that you guys make videos. First, I'm tagging Wasted Youth Comics and Action Figures. You're it. I want to know what your goals are. Mr. J Rocks, I would like to tag you as well, find out what's up, what's going on. And Rob WiseGuy82, who does the wackiest stealth comic book hauls. He actually does them while he's at work. I've never seen anything like it. I don't know if that's like a thing or what. But here are some of the things that I would like to do. I would love to start another segment in which I look at Mignolaverse, Mike Mignola comic books. If you've been watching my comic book haul, you know that usually once a week I have a Mike Mignola title from the Hellboy universe. So I would love to just kind of dedicate maybe a segment or a show to that, maybe each week, maybe once a month. I'm going to try to do my best to find the time. Not only do I have a career-oriented job, I also have a girlfriend. I also have family responsibilities. So there's a lot on my plate, A lot of times I'm out visiting my girlfriend. She lives about an hour away in Massachusetts, so the distance between us can be challenging at times. She works a career job Monday through Friday as well, so really the weekends are kind of like the big time for us. So When I was single, I used to always have the weekend. You know, I had a lot of free time on the weekend. I was able to pump out more videos. And if you look through the archives of my channel, you'll notice that I used to be more active doing like boxing reviews, doing beer reviews. I got a ton of views doing those. I used to do more video game oriented stuff. So non-comic book related, I hope maybe to get back into some boxing reviews, maybe some more sport events as well. Beer reviews I'm retired from. I haven't done a beer review in almost 2 years. I still get people that ask me about doing beer reviews, but it's just something that I want to move on from. You know, I had my fun. If you want, check out some of my beer reviews. Pretty cool time. So I would like to do more Magnolaverse-oriented stuff. You know, exploring Hellboy more in detail, Abe Sapien, BPRD, Lord Baltimore, Frankenstein, all that different stuff that comes in the Magnolaverse. Also, maybe even do more horror-oriented material and dedicate maybe a segment to that. I love El Torres, you guys know that, with Straight Jacket, and then also his work on Roman Ritual. You guys know that I read a lot of Cullen Bunn's stuff, Harrow County in particular. Scott Snyder, too, his Witches should be starting up again very shortly, so I hope to maybe explore that more in depth. I hope to maybe explore more of my graphic novels in depth. I don't think I've ever done a graphic novel review. And there's a lot of BPRD stuff, a lot of old Green Lantern stuff that I would like to explore. Maybe talk a little bit more about my Aquaman graphic novels. And I hope to do more videos just like that, you know, showing you guys my graphic novel collection, because now that I've been collecting for, almost a year and a half now, I've accumulated quite a bit of graphic novels. I know that some of you guys have asked me to do like top 5 lists, like what are my top 5 favorite comics, top 5 favorite comic book characters, top 5 villains. So I hope to maybe try to do that. And also, just aesthetically, I do have better cameras. Right now, I just use a Logitech webcam. I mean, if you look at some of my older videos, I definitely have a lot better cameras. But the problem is I want some feedback. I kind of like putting out the hauls on Wednesday, right when it happens, right when I get home. You know, I look through my books, I look up stuff about the books, and then immediately put it up. I feel, though, if I do start to record it with a better camera, then I have to sync up the audio with my microphone. It just involves a lot more work. And I have actually produced some videos on here where I have used my better camera, and I even did, you know, like picture-in-picture overlays and stuff like that. It just, editing can be very time-consuming, even doing very simple stuff like that. So I think that it probably will be best for me to keep doing the comic book haul videos on the webcam. And then maybe the more special stuff, the more, you know, like maybe the Magnola stuff or the horror stuff or exploring graphic novels or top 5s, I can get more into the editing. But let me know. You know, I need you guys' feedback. That's the thing. I love it when you guys comment. I know I've been a little bit behind on replying back on the comments. I always try to reply to most comments. I'm going to probably actually go back tonight or tomorrow and leave replies for all the comments you guys have left in the last couple videos, because that's, you know, gives me a gauge of how I'm doing, you know. And even if it's something that's critical, you guys can be critical. You know, you can make suggestions, make constructive criticism. But I think I just kind of like doing the format, you know, right to the webcam, and boom, it's ready to go. And also, I kind of like doing the off-the-cuff, non-scripted, just speak right into the camera. It helps me practice my public speaking, which is important at the job that I do. And it's just fun doing it that way. It can be an adventure. Sometimes I flub my words. Sometimes I have brain farts. It will happen all the time. But hey, I think, you know, overall I do a pretty decent job at it. Editing would pretty much highly change that. So we'll see. Nothing's going to be set in stone. I'm willing to experiment and see how it goes. But I hope that you guys will comment. I'm going to do another shout-out video soon. And hey, even if you don't make videos, if you even want to comment down below what your goals are for comic book collecting. Maybe some of the people that do comment on here but haven't made a video yet, maybe that's something you can do. Maybe that could be a goal. Hey, I'm going to actually start uploading videos, which would be great. Oh, and another aesthetic thing I would like to change is my scenery, right? I've been doing this now. We're up to number 73. It's always been me in my small living room, my small apartment, and that's it. So I'm hoping to maybe hang up some of my comics somewhere. I do actually have some over there hung up that you can't see, but I'm hoping to take a corner of my bedroom maybe, plaster up some of my favorite books, and then maybe start recording it that way. The only trade-off there would be I'm not going to be able to record on the microphone. I do have a couple webcams that actually do have decent mics, so it may work. We'll see how it goes. But I imagine that you guys are getting tired of just seeing me in the same position here, right? So maybe I'm thinking about just rotating locations. You know, setting something up like that. So maybe one week I'll do it here. My bookcase behind me has all my graphic novels, so I could probably set up a bar stool and do it like that. You know, we'll see. We'll see. So nothing too crazy, nothing too dramatic. This is a hobby for me. YouTube has always been a hobby for me. And that's it. I don't have any expectations of making a career out of it. I can make a whole video about that. You know, the perils and the stresses that probably come with that. And I just kind of like, you know, leaving this at hobby status and just having fun and making connections with you guys. Now, speaking of connections, does anybody out there play Destiny? Because if you do, let me know, man. I'm on Xbox One. I'm on PhillyKuts1. I'm going to put my gamer tag in the description below. If anybody wants to hook up and do some raids, man, I've been getting super into this game, man. I'm not good. I suck pretty bad at video games. I actually have trolls that have taken some of my Let's Play footage and made videos about me. It's actually a troll. I'm so bad. I'm part of the This Is How You Don't Play community, but whatever. I'm okay with it, man. I'm okay with it. One of the top in the world at that style of play. But if you guys want to hook up, play some Destiny, and maybe just talk about comic books off camera that way, instead of maybe doing a roundtable forum. Whatever, man, I'm down. Down for some cool peeps to play some Destiny. All right, let's get started with the haul. Number 73. I'll timestamp the video. I should have said that in the beginning of this rant. Anyway, I'm going to put a timestamp, so if people want to skip, whatever, that's pretty pointless now. See? Brain fart fucking up. Live on camera. Recorded on camera for you guys. Okay, DC, as always, where I always start. Let's start with number 49 of Green Lantern. I don't know, I kind of feel like this is just kind of a fluffy, furry story ahead of the inevitable showdown between Green Lantern and Parallax. It's already been teased last issue, so I'm not spoiling anything if you're keeping up with this. This is actually the last page of this book. Parallax, chilling above Earth. He can sense that there's problems, Darth Vader style, disturbances in the Force, feeling the fear, and he's going to square off Renegade Hal Lantern, who has the power of Krona's Gauntlet, which is like the strength of 10 rings, against Parallax. So it's going to be cool to see how it goes. The other stuff that's happening in this issue is Green Lantern does battle against this Sonar enemy who has a terrorist organization behind him, Modar. They fucked up his family, okay? They were on the boardwalk of Coast City, home of Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. An explosion went off and a Ferris wheel fell on top of one of Green Lantern's family members, his nephew. His nephew is knocked down. He's in the hospital. This causes some tension. There's his nephew. This causes some tension between Hal Jordan and his brother. So it's a pretty interesting sequence between those two. Gives you some insight about how his family feels about Hal Jordan. who I feel like is DC's kind of fuck-up character in some ways, right? I still think Ryan Reynolds did a good job playing Green Lantern. I don't care what anybody says. But I still felt like this was just kind of like a filler issue, you know? Everybody's getting geared up for Green Lantern vs. Parallax. And that's the thing. DC has a ton of books that are about to hit 50. And I know that there's some big things happening, especially in Batman. Superman has some big things gearing up. So what do you guys think the over-under is going to be on the price point for those books, those number 50s? Do you think that we're going to see some $6 books, maybe for the Justice League, maybe for Batman? I mean, I hope not. Please don't price gouge the number 50 books, man. Just please don't do it. And look, this book looked like it was in tip-top shape, right? There's no rips on the outside. I opened this thing up when I got home. And fucking look, guys, I know that this happens, but see that? There's tears in the page. Now, I don't know if some asshole just opened this up and ripped it, because like I said, the cover isn't ripped. So that was really disappointing, man. You know, some days I go into the shop, I'm in a rush, gotta grab them quick. I don't have time to sit there and be, you know, OCD, man, and look at them, and oh my god, this has a thing. You know, I'm not into that. I don't think I'll ever be that type of collector. If you are, hey, that's cool. I still have a couple hundred books. I still need a bag and board. I'm working on it. But I want to be the one, like I said, I want to be the one that damages my own books. And I can't be that guy that's going to go back to the shop and be like, oh, dude, I picked this up and there was some rips in it. I just don't have the time. And I don't want to get that kind of conversation. All right, Action Comics, number 49. The Vandal Savage story continues. Again, I'm going to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer and talk about how DC, you know, does all their crossover and tie-in stuff with different books. They're up to the shenanigans with this Superman Vandal Savage Down story. Because it's going across many different Superman books. It's been across Batman, Superman. It's been across Superman. It's been across Action Comics, Superman, Wonder Woman, and it's just been bouncing back and forth between those 4 books. 2 of the 4 books I already buy. You know, I usually buy Superman and Batman, Superman, but now I've had to expand it, and I gotta accept it. All right, it is what it is because I'm enjoying the story, and I'm gonna keep at it. Superman, in order to restore his powers, needs to take a bath and utilize kryptonite. Yes, that's right, people. That is Superman in a bath of crystally frosty kryptonite. Now, apparently, Vandal Savage stole some of Superman's powers, did something to his skin so that Superman's cells can't absorb the power of the Yellow Sun, people, which we know that's where he gets his superpowers from. Now, he figured out that if he uses kryptonite to kill off this film that's over his skin, he might be able to restore some of his powers, and he does, people. He gets back his power of flight. He gets back his power of invincibility. But look at that, dude. He's all tweaked out, man. Tweaked out, flying. Looks kind of like Green Lantern a little bit, right? Green kryptonite trail. Leaving it, right? Pretty interesting. And then look at this panel, man. I mean, it looks like he's having sex. I don't know what is... what? Good Lord. And this is T for teen, people. Anyway, he does get some of his powers back. He also gets some new powers. Let me read to you here what he gets. He gets some kind of strange power that he's able to hear, like, radio waves and stuff, and sonar, and then also when he hits someone, it creates big waves of power and energy, and there's also a price that he has to pay. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I have a feeling that, you know, they're going to be temporary powers. But he's kicking ass again. Vandal Savage's family, too, is dysfunctional. There's Hoarder Root, who is kind of like the runt of the family. Vandal Savage isn't very proud of him. There's also the brother of Horder-Root, Puzzler. He's this guy that decided to put himself inside of a robot body. Horder-Root helped him do that, and then Horder-Root ended up killing him. So there's him. And I've just been really enjoying it. I've really been enjoying Superman, and I may be picking up Action Comics on the permanent pull list. They got me. All right, Detective Comics. Look at this great cover. That is Jim Gordon. He has been chilling out of the Mecha Bat suit. So Mecha Batman has been kind of put to rest. Jim Gordon wants to be more mobile, man. He wants to feel it. He wants to go in without it, if you know what I'm saying. And I don't know. I'm still really not buying Jim Gordon too much as Batman. I mean, in the last issue, they had him make some fuck-ups. You know, he's kind of running around on the buildings, and they'll show him slipping. And then, you know, he's in the middle of a murder investigation, sees a dead body, kind of isn't paying attention to his surroundings, and he ends up getting shot. But the nanotechnology of his suit, I forget what the official name is, ends up saving him. You know, he actually gets shot in the back of the head, but, you know, he's wearing his cowl, and it's helping him out. But I don't know. I'm not buying it. There's no Bruce Wayne in this book. This is kind of a classic serial killer murder mystery type of thing. It's actually a cold case from one of Jim Gordon's old files. And they think, the theory is that this killer is going around killing people, putting masks on them. So the first killing, he had a George Washington mask on the body. In this killing, they find the body of an astronaut hanging from a building. There's the back of that body. And that ends up being the first American ever to go up into space, and that's Alan Shepard from 1961. So the theory is this serial killer dressing up the bodies to represent famous firsts, male firsts? Is that the fetish here? Is that what this killer wants to do? But it turns out, no, it may not be. Because they do find this damsel in distress getting ready to be killed and torched, Joan of Arc style. And Jim Gordon has to come in and save the day. There's some nice fire action there. Feeling like that's Dave Stewart a little bit, but it isn't. The coloring. So, interested to see how it goes. But like I said, goddamn, I'm ready for Bruce Wayne to be back as Batman. That's for sure. Okay, Swamp Thing #2. This is going to be, I think, a 5 or 6 limited issue run. The cool thing about this book is that it has one of the original writers of Swamp Thing, Len Wein. In the last issue, Swamp Thing got tore to shreds by a zombie in the woods, ripped apart, but luckily Swamp Thing has the power to regenerate pretty quickly. There he is, all kinds of metamorphosis going on. It's kind of reminding me of the Martian Manhunter a little bit there. He has to try to track down this zombie because the zombie is terrorizing women on this Louisiana University campus. But there's bigger things a-brewing. He gets the help of an occult guy. Figures out that he has to stuff the zombie's mouth full of salt and then sew it shut. That's the only reason why he'll be able to kill him. I guess it's not like Walking Dead and you can just shoot their head or cut their head off. But there's bigger trouble a-brewing, and I'm not going to spoil that for you guys. But there's good, you know, Swamp Thing versus zombie fighting in the woods. So pretty cool. I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm probably going to stick with Swamp Thing through the whole run. Okay, one Marvel book, per usual. Obi-Wan Anakin, #2. This is kind of exploring Anakin Skywalker's descent into darkness. It's kind of one of the earlier adventures of him and Obi-Wan. They receive a transmission, a distress transmission from Carnelian 4. It's this planet where there is a conflict between these two peoples known as open and close. Talk about binary, people. Open and close. Reminds me sort of an Israel-Palestine conflict, Hatfield-McCoy's conflict, you know, just lots of hatred that goes back quite a long time, okay? A matter of fact, the people on this planet aren't even familiar with what Jedi are. The last issue ended where Obi-Wan and Anakin confront these women. There's one there. And they have no clue what a Jedi is. So they have to kind of go on a bit of a peacekeeping mission, keep the peace between these two races of people. And the rub is that you start to kind of see in flashback fashion Anakin Skywalker getting worked on by the Palpatine. What was he, Chancellor Palpatine at that time, before he became Emperor Palpatine? But you can, start to see him going to work on Anakin. The problem that I'm finding with some of the Star Wars stories is that they're a bit anticlimactic, because if you follow Star Wars and if you watched all the movies, you kind of know where a lot of the stuff is going or headed. I mean, I suppose if you didn't know jack shit about Obi-Wan and Anakin, you'd have no clue what ends up happening. That Anakin Skywalker becomes Darth Vader, obviously. But when you do, it kind of sucks the life out of it a bit. That's why Vader Down, I felt, the whole 6-issue Vader Down crossover event was a bit disappointing. Because if you know anything about the universe, you know that Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker don't have their epic showdown until the end of Empire Strikes Back. Their first real big battle. So if the books are truly going to follow, I guess, what is it, canon of Star Wars, they have to abide by that. I don't know. I suppose they could do some sort of dream sequence or something like that. But I guess the good thing, too, is that it kind of gives you a more exposed look, a more in-depth look of how Anakin got corrupted by the dark forces. Here he is talking to Palpatine. So it kind of is going to give us a little bit more insight. I'm enjoying the spin-off series. Star Wars and Darth Vader are the two main ongoing titles in the Marvel Star Wars books. Everything else has been pretty much a mini-series, usually about 5 issues, and then you're done. But I've enjoyed them, and I'm going to stick with them. And this is Charles Soule and Marco Ciccito. I think Soule did Lando, which was an excellent one. I highly recommend that. And finally, from Dark Horse, Joe Golem, Occult Detective, number 4. And I looked at this, and I was like, wait a minute, The Sunken Dead Part 1. I was like, oh, shit. I never picked up Joe Golem, Occult Detective number 3. I buy so many books, you guys know that I forget sometimes, and guess what? They didn't have number 3 in stock at my shop. So I'm going to have to figure some things out, either order it online or just, look for it somewhere. I gotta see, I gotta figure it out. Joel Golem, he figures out through flashbacks and dream sequences that he was once a golem, which is a mythical, strong-ass creature. His golem was actually a witch hunter. There's the golem there. That's Joe. And it's kind of cool. He kind of figures more and more stuff out about himself. In the first series, Joe Golem was investigating a series of child abductions that were being committed by a sea creature, a sea monster. It takes place in Manhattan in the 1940s, I believe, 40s or 50s. Manhattan has been flooded. This is kind of an alternate universe Manhattan. It's been flooded out, man. As a matter of fact, a huge portion of lower Manhattan has been completely submerged. So the world is a-changing, folks. Global warming done early. So I guess in this issue, a millionaire tries to recover his lost fortune. And there's these crazy-looking dead people. So pretty cool. Classic Mignola lineup. Mike Mignola, Christopher Golden, Patrick Reynolds. Coloring by Dave Stewart. I didn't explore this book too much, so I don't know much about what's going on in this news story. So I got to pick me up issue number 3. All right, folks, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the shortened haul, but the bonus tag video. And let's quickly pick a cover of the week. As much as I'm saying that I'm not buying Gordon as Batman, I do love this cover. He does look pretty badass. But how the fuck did Gordon get so cut? Is it just the suit? Is it just the suit, or is he really that ripped? I don't know. Alright, guys, let me know what you're liking, what you're disliking. Give me your suggestions down below. Let me know what you're reading. Peace out. Bye!